Hey there, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the Bimmer Barn. Today I'm going to be showing you how to tear down a parts car, and we're going to find out just how much money we can make off of my 335i donor that we used for the 335i wagon build. I'm going to share with you some of the tips and tricks that I use to make sure that we get as much meat off the bones as possible, metaphorically speaking, and at the end of the video we'll talk about what we can do with the shell to try to get as much money out of it as possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So here's my 2008 335i parts car that we used to build my 335i wagon that you can see right here. And it's completely devoid of anything that really makes it a 335i at this point, because I had to use everything from the axles, the suspension, engine drivetrain, even parts of the interior we used in the wagon build. So currently it just has a black comfort interior because we have the M Sport stuff in the wagon and the old steering wheel. Now, I've already gone and sold the entire interior to one person, which makes it really easy for both of us. They get to do a full black interior conversion, and I don't have to worry about parting out all the seats and the carpets and stuff like that separately. So one big package for all the interior is going to be the best way to go if you're going to be parting out a car, and that way you can get a ton of money at once and get rid of a ton of parts at once too. So what I have to do today is I need to pull the seats out and the carpets as well as the dashboard, so that I can give those to the next owner who bought the black interior, and then we can start picking off some of the smaller modules and pieces that are going to give us a little bit extra money. We can sell stuff on eBay. So let me go ahead and pull the seats out, and the rear seats as well need to come out. These are actually the fold down seats, which are a really cool retrofit if your E90 didn't come with those, and then we'll start going through the rest of the car for the parts that we want to take off. So now with the seats out, we have plenty of room inside the car here to get to work. We need to get all the spare parts out of the car here, decide which ones we're going to keep as spares and which ones we're going to be selling third party, like on eBay or Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. I also need to get the rest of the parts out to do the rear seat fold down retrofit, so like the little latch down here and up here. And I think the parcel shelf, you're going to need that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start removing all the junk out of here, and then we'll be able to pull the carpets out. Now, since the mess is gone, we can actually see the floor. The last couple things I'm going to pull out are going to be the black seat belts, the speakers, Logic 7 speakers in the ground here, and also the rear seat belts I already disconnected. Also, you see the airbag control module. All these things worth a pretty good penny, so we're going to be sure to remove them carefully, and then we'll be able to get the carpets out. So as you saw, pulling out the rear carpet section is pretty easy. You just have to remove the e-brake handle, some of the components up here, and throw the harness up front. But then the front carpet section is a little bit trickier on BMWs because the heater core in the middle of the dashboard actually runs through the frickin' carpet. So that makes it really difficult because you'd have to remove the heater core in order to get the carpet out. And what I've done in the past on multiple cars, it's worked great, it saves you a lot of time, is I've just cut using an X-Acto knife around this section of carpet right here as tight in as you can against, you know, some of these reinforcement points and such. And that way in the new car you do the same exact cuts, leave the little section of gray carpet in the middle, and then put your black carpet. And then, you know, the center console is going to cover up everything and keep it tucked up. You're not going to be able to notice that it was ever changed unless, of course, you remove the dashboard and you see that gray carpet there. But it's the easiest way to do a black carpet conversion or any carpet conversion, and it saves you some time. So I'm going to go ahead and make some relief cuts around this center section here, and then we'll hopefully be able to pull out the entire carpet in one piece, and then we can move on to some of the smaller modules and things that we can make money on inside this car. All right, so now with the interior fully removed, we can see the remaining control modules, things that we can pull out that are going to make us a couple bucks. The carpets are in really good condition, honestly. Just shaking them, a lot of the dirt came out, and if you were to carpet clean these with some shampoo and then shop vac them, I'm sure they'd be 100% OEM looking again. So these came out really nicely, and now, like I said, we're going to pull out the longitudinal dynamics module right here, probably worth a couple bucks. The power distribution box over on the passenger side, that is definitely worth some money. There's the EKP over on the side of the car, over on the pillar, and then we have both fuel pumps and the sending unit to remove, and those will be really good spare parts, I think, that I'm going to be keeping around. So let's go ahead and remove some of these things now, and then we'll move to the doors. Alrighty, now with the price of gas recently, I might just have to siphon out the rest of the gas in these tanks, make good use of it. But as you saw, we pulled everything out. I'm going to leave the power distribution box inside the car because might as well see if we can sell it with the shell. I think you have to cut it out on this particular model. There's no way to unbolt it safely. And now, like I said, we're going to move to the doors. We've got the door sills, which we're going to pull off. Those trim pieces are worth a couple bucks, maybe as a set on eBay. And then behind the doors themselves, we're going to go ahead and pull out the window regulators. I at least need one of them for my wagon build. And then we're also going to pull out the door lock mechanisms for the latches because those are worth a couple bucks independently as well. So let's go ahead and deconstruct these babies and try to get our money's worth. So just as the weather starts to turn a little bit more cloudy in the skies. We've got everything out of the car, including that rear parcel shelf. I started to get some of the headliner pieces, but I don't think that we're gonna have time for that today. And I don't know if they're gonna be worth it. Maybe like the handles and stuff might be worth it as a group with the other trim pieces. But you see that we really try to get as much out of this car as possible. I left the e-brake handle in, of course, so that we can park the car and it's not gonna roll away on us. But yeah, this thing is just about as gutted as it can be. The wheels I don't want to get rid of, so we'll probably try to keep those. But right now the car has two possible options. Number one is most likely we'll take it to the junkyard, get about $200 to $300 worth for scrap metal in the car, and that'll be the easiest solution. We just get rid of the car in one go. Number two would be that someone is interested in the shell, perhaps someone that totaled their 335i that wants to transfer over literally everything you'd have to transfer, but you've got an entire clean shell here with a clean title as well. So definitely could be a possibility. We'll go ahead and put it on the marketplace and see if anyone's interested, but I'm thinking it's probably gonna go to the junkyard. Now, as far as how much money we have here in all the parts, considering just the black interior, that was $750 for the entire black interior. I'm selling as a kit with the dashboard, the seat belts, the glove box, all the fold down seats and the front seats, and the carpets as well. So somebody can definitely do a really cool jet black interior conversion. That's $750 right there. We've got this miscellaneous pile of modules, you know, things like the light control module, the airbag control module, steering wheel, and these things are worth money. These are the little charged seatbelt buckles, and when you're in a car accident, these charges go bad. So if you're trying to repair or rebuild a wrecked car, you're gonna need those, and that's what you kind of have to have in mind when you're pulling off parts, is what would somebody wrecked need. And another common one is this distribution panel right here that goes on top of the battery. It's got big old fuses underneath this red panel here, and that is going to pop when the car is in an accident. So that's probably worth 50 to 100 bucks depending on the day. And the intelligent battery sensor as well, worth a couple bucks. You see we've got the fuel pump over here. We've got all the window regulators and door locks as well. Some other pieces from the parcel shelf and the pieces that you'll need to retrofit the rear folding seats. The speakers, Logic 7, might be worth a couple bucks. The door seals, we can probably take some off of the rest of the doors and sell those. We've got an entire wood trim set, so that's worth a couple bucks most likely. So all in all, I would say, so altogether, I would say between all the miscellaneous parts we have, if we can carefully sell them on eBay, and keep in mind I have some stuff that I'm not showing here, the Logic 7 amplifier, things we already removed from the parts car, probably say we have about $500 to $600 worth of possible parts to sell on eBay. And so that makes a pretty good return when you think about buying an entire car just for a donor as an engine swap. You know, you might think you're getting just the motor, but you're actually getting a lot more than the motor, and you can get a lot of value out of a donor car like that. And as far as if we didn't do a swap, we'd have a ton more 335i specific parts that would be worth it to part out off this car that you could definitely make some money on. So now, since the weather's turning a little bit gray here, I'm gonna have to start putting these things in the garage. Of course, I don't want all these new pieces that we just pulled off the 335 to get wet and ruined, but I would definitely recommend that if you guys have the opportunity to part out a car, maybe you find one that's not running on Craigslist for a good deal and it's worth a couple bucks to buy it, you can always part it out and make good money this way. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like or a comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't yet. As always, I hope everyone has an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.